Cause girl, at the same goddamn time, like, at the same time. Ooh, this is going to be, I don't know what it's gonna be. Hey Scrub Bears, Chris here. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? So listen, bear with me. This is the first time I'm doing this type of video. I guess this is a story time. But for real, I've been getting this question a lot lately ever since I announced that I was working with a salon a few months back. I've been getting that question in combination with like, how was my experience in beauty school? So I'm going to get to the beauty school portion in another video, but this video right here, I need to get this out because I've been getting like inboxes and emails from some people just asking me like, how is it working at a salon and this, that, and the third. And baby, I got some news to share with you guys. So I announced a few months back that I was working with a salon. I won't mention the salon's name or anything. And let me just start off by saying I don't want to bash the salon or the salon owner in any kind of way. I can only speak my truth as far as my experience with the salon and the salon owner. And I mean, I've learned a lot of things from that experience. Hopefully other people can learn from my experience as well. So let me just start off by saying, look, I'm not trying to go in, but at the same damn time, girl, at the same damn time, I got to keep it all the way real. So yeah, a few months back, I announced that I was working with the salon. I was brought on as a hairstylist as well as like a skincare kind of person. So basically anything that falls in line of like an esthetician and makeup artist, I would do that. And then I would do like, you know, hairstyling, you know, extensions, wash and goes, hair. Everything with hair, right? A lot of you guys don't know this about me, but I literally come from a family of hairstylists. I think my father was an instructor out in Chicago, and he was a hairstylist for many years, as well as a barber. My mother was a hairstylist for many years. Okay, I literally grew up around hair. My older sister is a hairstylist as well by profession, and she's super talented. And with that being said, I've sort of been surrounded by the salon life in some kind of way or another throughout my whole life. So I came into this situation with a basic knowledge of salon life, but because my overall goal is to open up my own space, both like a hair studio and a makeup studio, I wanted to give myself that salon experience with in a salon atmosphere outside of like my family, because you can be not really jaded, but I just wanted a different perspective of salon life, to be honest. So I really wanted, that was the point of me going into the salon first and foremost. But how I got connected with the salon owner, it was actually two parts. So when I moved back to this area, my sister-in-law has been telling me about her hairstylist that she's had for close to like 20 years, and just saying like, you know, she would love to have you at the salon. You would be so great there. She's such, you know, she's so talented. She was like talking great things about the hairstylist, and just letting me know that she had her own place and all that good stuff. And because my sister-in-law has been going to her for so long, and she basically came highly recommended from a reputable source, I was like super excited. But at the time when I had first moved to this area, I had months left in school. So I was like, you know, there's really nothing I can do right now. I can't move in, I can't work at her salon. I haven't completed my hours. I don't have licensing. You know, I'm pretty sure she's not going to put her license at risk to have an unlicensed stylist in her salon. You know, I don't care who I am, you know? So I just kind of put that on the back burner. So fast forward a year later, I got settled into our new area. My daughter's already finished, like completed one school year, and we're moving on to the next school year. And I finally had an opportunity to actually finish school, because at that time when I moved up to this area, I only had like roughly 3.5 months left of school. So I just like, let me go ahead and knock it out. So I re-enrolled into school, and around that time I made some awesome connections with a couple of the local like hairstylists in the area, called a couple of salon owners that had different sort of niche salons, and just kind of like putting my ear to the street so I can kind of prepare myself as to which way I wanted to go. Now, I have a pretty solid clientele out in Indianapolis, and by the grace of God, within the first year of me moving back to the area, my Indianapolis clients have been so dedicated. They still kept me busy, so I was going back to Indianapolis quite often, like a lot last year, or they would come up to me. And then I had a lot of like bridal clients. So as far as like being busy, I stayed busy throughout the year, but at the same time, I didn't have a chance to like really solidify myself in this current area and build my clientele here. I was in between trying to make a decision of whether I'm going to do like a booth rental salon or a salon that does like commission and can kind of help you build your clientele, whatever, what have you. So that's where I was with it. Now, fast forward a couple of months into school, I'm literally weeks away from graduation, and I am driving around the area, like the area where my school is located. The area where my school is located is roughly 25 minutes from where I stay, right? And I see this salon that, you know, looks fairly new. It's closed at the time, but I peek inside the window, and I'm with my mother, because I think this is a weekend where my mom was visiting. So my mother and I are peeking through the window, and we just see like just gorgeousness, the way that it was decorated, like the interior design was just so lush and gorgeous. It had these beautiful chairs and gorgeous mirrors, and it just looks so darling in this like sort of random hub, I guess, of stores that you never would know that such a like high scale beauty salon would be there. So it was like unassuming from the outside, but it was divine from the inside, from what we can see. And I remember saying to myself, oh, I haven't heard of this salon. Let me go ahead and check this salon out real quick. Let me look them up. But before I did that, I saw that there was like a wig on a wig stand, like it's in the middle of being styled. And I was like, oh, this must be a black salon. That's the first thing that popped through my mind. It just made my head light up, because one thing about me is I love empowering like women in business, but what sends me over the moon even more so is seeing women of color in business. That just makes my heart dance. Like, I have never, like, it's not even in me to hate on the next chick if she looks like me and she's doing the damn thing. So when I saw that, I just knew that this salon owner, like, or this salon is black or something. It may be a chick that might be like bad for me to assume it may be owned by a dude, but I mean, that's the thought that danced through my mind. And what happened was, I went online, I went to their Facebook page and looked it up, and I can see that it was owned by a black woman. Here's where like fate stepped in. I reached out to the salon owner via their Facebook page and just sort of, you know, give them the spiel about me. You know, I'm going to be graduating in weeks. I am a, you know, hairstylist, makeup artist. Let me share some of my work. I was on some very like, very humble, excited. I would love to work for, you know, I would love to work in your salon. I would love to see what you guys have to offer, because from what I saw on the Facebook page, it just seemed like a salon that would be a good fit for me. On the page, it looked as though there was an entire staff of stylish, young, hip, you know, people of color, and this was like, you know, a hip place / upscale. So it just seems like something that would be really in line with my personality. I have to be honest though, I wasn't really blown away with the styling portion. Like, I didn't see any hairstyles that just took my edges away. A lot of the work was very, very clean. I can say that it was a lot of clean work, but it just didn't like, it just didn't have like that new funk, that new age kind of spin on it. So I guess it was kind of old school. I don't even want to sound mean, but like, I wasn't impressed with the styling portion. But from what I saw on the Facebook page, like, I was impressed with how the staff looked and all this other stuff. And I was like, wow, this is really fun. I hope that this person reads my inbox again. Like, again, I just like gave him the whole spiel about me, and I'm new to the area, and let me share some of my work or whatever. And the first thing that happened was, it took probably 2 or 3 days before I can get a response back. And it should have been an indicator to me, because on one hand, the salon is saying that they're hiring, they're looking to like fill out they're looking for a makeup artist and they're looking for a stylist. So it's on their Facebook page. It's also on the signage outside of their salon that they're looking for someone, like they're looking to fill in a position. And it took 3 days to get a response, like not even a generic response, just like any response. It shouldn't have taken that long. But I literally, like, that didn't bother me too much. It didn't click to me until way after the fact. So in between those 3 days of me reaching out to them and them responding back, I spoke to my sister-in-law and I was just talking to her about like this salon. And I remember my sister-in-law mentioning her hairstylist's name, and it's such a unique name that when I put two and two together and I looked at the salon page and I saw that name come across, I was like, I think that I just reached out to the lady that you were trying to hook me up with. And she's like, oh my God, yes it is. So when I made that connection, I followed up with the salon owner's page and I actually said, hey, my name, sorry to bother you again basically, but my sister-in-law, I gave her name. My sister-in-law actually mentioned you last year about like working at your salon. I don't know if she mentioned me, but that's who I am or whatever. And this is so crazy because I, didn't put two and two together until now. Anyway, when I sent that message out, I immediately got a response. And the response was very complimentary. Like she was complimentary to the previous inbox that I sent her in terms of the work that I sent over, the pictures of my work. And she acknowledged that, yes, I know who you are. I didn't realize it that, you're her sister-in-law, whatever. So all the formalities are surpassed, okay? Moving forward, this is weeks after the fact. So weeks later, I let her know that my final date, my graduation date, and we decided to meet up on my graduation date, like after I graduated, obviously, at her salon to have like an informal, sort of formal interview just to see if, working at the salon would be a good fit. So I come to, I graduate that day. So I'm dressed to the nines. I'm feeling good. I'm like, I'm so glad I'm done with everything. And I come in dressed, I'm slaying, girl. I'm slaying. I'm looking real nice. My face is beats or whatever. I'm looking very interview ready, very professional, interview stylist, makeup artist, you need me ready, okay? And we had like, the long and short of it, we had a really great rapport with each other. It was around 6 p.m. when I came to the salon, and at that time the salon was completely empty. It was on a Tuesday. It was like completely empty. It was just her and it was just me, and CC Buttercups came with me. I let her know like I have to get my daughter if we're going to set up this time. That probably was a little unprofessional on my part that I brought my daughter, but at that time we already had a rapport because again, she was my sister-in-law stylist for the longest time. So it's almost like somebody so well without before formally meeting them. So it was kind of like a casual, again, formal, informal meeting. Anyway, and CC's 10, she was out of the way. Like she just needed an iPad and like earbuds or something like that, and she's good. So anyway, we're talking and stuff, and it's completely empty. Let me just say that again. It's completely fucking empty. And we are discussing, what we can do for each other. And, I just repeated the fact that, although I am an established makeup artist and a hairstylist, I've lived in Indianapolis for the last 15 years, and I was able to like solidify my clientele and build it based off of, that being my homestay. I do have some clients that require me to travel different distances. Those are my, brides, but I need a place where I'll be able to establish myself in my current city and build clientele from there. And I'm just at the point where I'm looking for a salon home that's going to help me do that as seamlessly as possible. So I put it out there that like I can't really do booth rent. I can't do like booth rent as far as like hairstyling and stuff like that for makeup or skin, because the services are so broad, and they are sort of pricey. I could make do with doing like a microblading session and be done with booth rent or whatever like that. But as far as hairstyling, like, I don't know how many people in the area that we're in that's going to justify paying $200, $250 for a sew-in. Like, I don't know. Like, that might be standard for some areas, but from what I remember of the area where the salon is located in, that's not the norm. I'm just keeping it real. What we ended up discussing was like a reduced booth rent for the skincare portion, because essentially I will be utilizing 2 spaces. There's a section in the salon where all the stylist stations are. I think there are 4 stylist stations, and yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4 stylist stations on one side, and then there's the main stylist station, which is the owner, on the other side, and then there is another area where the skincare portion will be, essentially. So there's like a space for you can set up all of your tools and your products, your makeup. There's like a makeup chair that reclines. There's the magnifying glass if you need it. It comes with like a steam machine if you want to do steam facials and stuff like that. So essentially, if I utilize both spaces, I'm using both spaces, so there is a cost for using both spaces, right? And what we decided on was like a reduce booth rent for one space, and then like commission for the styling portion. And I was good with that. So the second red flag, I lost track. Like, the second red flag on that was, we discussed that on one day. So the very next day I started, like, I was like, I can start ASAP. The very next day I started because I had a client coming anyway. As soon as I walked through the door and we sat down and talked, the price changed as far as commission. It went from one split to a split that was 10% more. And I was like, okay, like, you just thought about that and you just decided, like, no, fuck what I said yesterday. So like, that was like another red flag for me. But I wasn't stressing it. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm just glad to get my foot in the door. Again, this is a Black businesswoman. I'm all for it. I can do it, or whatever. Now, as far as the booth rental part for the skin portion, it was at a reduced rate, but after 4 weeks, we're supposed to like reconvene and see if that is doable. And if it's doable, then it's going to increase by $25 every month until it gets to like the standard, like the industry standard for that kind of space, right? So, but that is contingent on us sitting down and talking and seeing if that price is fine, if it's, workable. If not, we can keep it as it is until the clientele boosts. That is something that she both suggested, and she she stressed. She was like, it's going to start off like this, and after 4 weeks we're going to talk about it, and if everything is fine, we're going to increase it by $25. Okay, that's fine. Okay, keep that in mind. Just understand that. Let me just mention another thing that she said during our initial like sit down discussion. She basically let me know that she had to like get rid of her entire staff because she's trying to move forward and have like this sort of aesthetic of like an upscale experience, an upscale salon, whatever, what have you. And I'm totally on board with it. And I guess like the last staff that she had, I'm assuming maybe the people that's in the picture, I don't know. I don't even know if that was her staff, or maybe they were just her friends. But, that was suggestive to me that the last staff that she had was pretty much like ratchet, okay? She said it in so many words that they were just like ghetto, or they were ratchet, or they just didn't fit the mode of what this salon is trying to do. So she literally told me that she let go of her entire staff. And so she's essentially starting from square one. Let's just keep that in mind, because we have to understand that this is a high scale sort of salon. It's in a business hub of this particular area. I know that it's not cheap. I know that it's not cheap to even have that space, but to have a functioning salon, like a high scale functioning salon with absolutely no staff, like if I was an owner, I would do whatever I can to keep people up in these chairs. That's just me personally, but I'm just going to pepper that in and just let you guys know that that's what she told me. So when I do come in the next day, the only people that are there is essentially me, her, and her assistant, okay? So anyway, I can say that my experience at the salon as a whole was really, really like, it was euphoric. Like we talked a lot, we laughed a lot. It was really, really chill. A lot of great, you know, just surface conversations, nothing too deep or anything like that. We had like happy hour at 2 p.m. So every day at 2 p.m. we'll be taking shots, or, you know, we'll offer our clients like wine. We'll try to keep it kind of classy or whatever. It really depends. But at the same time, like a lot of the clientele that will come in for the owner is like people that's known her for years, that's, you know, like, so it's really a chill environment. We don't have to put on our professional face too much, because these are people that's been going to this lady for like 20-25 years, known her since like high school, known her since middle school or whatever. So it's a lot of friends and family that comes in as far as her clientele is concerned. And as far as my clientele is concerned, like, it's a little bit of both. Like, I more or less still had a lot of brides that were already scheduled for the year. So every weekend, at least within the first month, I was like not even there anyway, because I would service my client, my bride. I would have to either go to Indianapolis or Michigan or wherever, you know, or wherever they send me. So I'm essentially paying my booth rent with, you know, I'm using, you know, some of the money that I would have on my freelance traveling jobs that were already preset to take care of the booth rent. I really don't care about that. As far as hairstyling, I really didn't have a lot of established hair clients at the salon at that point. And if anything, the majority of my hair clients will be hair clients that's like following me from beauty school, and the prices at beauty school is way different than the prices at like a salon. So some of those clients will be kind of reluctant to come up there. They're like, okay girl, this is not like a $10 blow dry and flat iron. You got that right, girl, because I got to pay commission, and you know, I'm not charging that much. So I'm not getting that much clientele in. But I want to go back to our initial conversation, because here's another point that she brought in to kind of entice me to start with her. Because I'm going to be paying commission, I essentially work for that shop, that salon owner, that salon, right? So with that being said, she's taken on, and rightfully so, she said with her mouth at least, that she's taking on she's taking on some of the responsibility of marketing and putting it out there that I have a makeup artist here, I have a stylist there. She also let me know that like her book is overflowing, and she's just like, she wants to kind of lift some of the load. So she's going to start filtering out some of her clientele to me. So I'm going in with that idea of, okay, I'm going to be paying booth rent, and I'm going to be paying commission. I know that she like flipped the script on how much the commission is, and that's fine. But at the very least, I don't have that added pressure to have to build my clientele all by myself. I'm going to be getting some of the residual of her clientele, and she's going to utilize her platform as a salon owner to like get people in. I also like asked if she allowed walk-ins, because I wanted to promote myself and promote that we can have walk-in specials. She wasn't really on board with that. Her response was like, I mean, I really don't want to like promote walk-ins because I don't want to have like a certain kind of people come in. Like, I don't even know what her reasoning was for it. Like, it sounded valid in her mind, but I'm like, that just sounded like a foreign language to me. Like, it made no sense to me why a working, functioning salon would not take walk-ins. Like, that makes no sense to me. But whatever her rationale was, she was like, I'm not going to say that I don't take walk-ins, but I don't advertise it. So when you're a salon owner, you say like, yeah, I mean, walk-ins can come in, but I don't advertise it. What does that say as an employee? Like, am I supposed to advertise it? Like, can I advertise it? Like, I don't know what the hell to do. So I was kind of like thrown off and kind of stuck in that rut for a while, and weeks are going by or whatever. So this is already a long video, so I'll just go ahead and cut down to the gritty of it. Now we're past the 4th week and we're rolling into the 5th week. Around this time, she's now expecting not only her booth rental, but she's expecting it with that $25 increase. And so like, she texts me and she basically like is like, okay girl, so you can go ahead and send that booth rent. And I would send the booth rent typically either swipe my card if she's there, or I'll just send it to her PayPal account. So I was just like, okay, so for clarification's sake, it's now, you know, whatever the price was plus the $25, right? And she was like, yep, that's right. And so I just went ahead and paid her because I was already there for that week. But I was thinking to myself, okay, we're supposed to have a discussion though, so that I can let you know, like, if this makes fiscal sense for me to continue on this way. We're supposed to have a discussion. And so I went ahead and paid her, and then I texted her and let her know, like, you know, I would love to sit down and talk to you. We have some things to talk about. When's a good time to talk to you, girl? You know, she basically was putting it off. Like, she was putting it off. She gave me a time one evening. It happened to be an evening that I was going to come in and do a hairstyle or whatever, do like a keratin treatment. And like midway through me doing the keratin treatment, she just ups and leaves and said, oh, I have to leave. I'll be back later. Maybe we can talk tomorrow or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, is she avoiding the conversation? I don't know what the tea is. And so I texted her later that night and just like, you know, when's a good time, basically? When's a good time for us to talk about this? Because it's Tuesday now, going into Wednesday. It's Tuesday now, going into Wednesday, and I don't want to be obligated for another week of commission at this increase before we can have this discussion, basically, okay? And she gives me a time once again. I text her after the fact, like after the time. I'm just like, okay, am I supposed to be calling you? Are you calling me? Like, I would love to talk to you. Again, she put it off for the last time and just said, oh girl, I'm busy, I'm swamped, I'm sorry, boo, whatever. She wasn't saying it like as dismissive, but she basically said she was busy again. So she was avoiding the conversation. Now we're through Wednesday going into Thursday. And so instead of having this back and forth, I did not want to do anything via text. I didn't want to do anything solid over text. I think that this was a discussion that as grown women, as business women, deserves a proper sit down and a dialogue. And I really was trying to set that up, but it was just like seeming impossible. And now we're going into Thursday. Like, I just spilled it all out. I'm just like, listen, this is what it is. Like, I wanted to talk to you about this. So far, this has been a great experience, but at the same time, you know, this is not being fiscally beneficial to me. And, you know, you've been a great, like, I appreciate the opportunity that you've given to me, but I think that we need to go ahead and discuss. I think we basically need to discuss, you know, the options here. I was opening up the floor for us to have some kind of, like, common ground. Like, I love it here, but I'm not able to grow at this current rate or this current pace that we have with all these dollars and cents attached to it. Mind you, you know, she already got the increase, number one. And the big ding is we discussed a certain percentage split. And by the time I started, she didn't increase that split by 10% before I even walked through the door, and not even like give me a heads up or see if that was like okay with me or whatever. So let's just keep that in mind, right? So I'm still opening the door for us to like renegotiate some things. Mind you, I've been there 5 weeks at this point. Again, the only stylist that's there is me and her, and she has an assistant, okay? Her assistant pretty much keeps the shop together, and she shampoos the hair or whatever, but that is pretty much it, okay? We are the only stylists here, okay? So after I sent out like this big long spiel of a text, her response to me was, okay, so is this your last week? I was like, well, goddamn, like, well, okay, y'all, so my camera died, so this is like real bootleg. I was like, okay, I gotta let that charge, but at the same time, girl, I gotta hurry up and get up out of here. So where did I end off of? I'm like, okay, yes. So I was basically like, I wasn't planning on it being my last week, but it can be my last day pretty much, because I said, no, I can pick up my stuff tomorrow morning, like in the AM. And then her response was, okay, well, leave the key on the counter, boo, like, have a blessed day. And I was like, damn, did I quit, or did I get fired, or was I just trying to open up negotiations? Like, what the fuck? So, like, that exchange left a really, really, really bad taste in my mouth. Like, it was a horrible, horrible taste, because on one hand, I just felt like I was undervalued. I felt like, you know, it wasn't no point of me even being there. I felt like I essentially wasted my time. And I felt like, from her perspective, like, girl, bitch, Okay, come and go with the breeze. And I just don't think that that's a good feeling to bestow on anybody that works for you or wants to work for you or with you on anything. I don't think that they should be made to feel like they're not a viable or valuable asset to your company or your brand or your salon or whatever. And again, like, I'm taking this from a perspective of not an independent contractor, but a person who actually works for this person. This is your salon, this is your brand. I'm essentially your employee, and I should be made to feel like, okay, bitch, you're not even worth a discussion. If you have a problem with how things are ran, then you can just, like, there's the door. I think that that is just like such a bad way to run business. And I just felt like, what? Like, my reaction was like, is it my last week? I'm just telling you, I'm just having the discussion that really you should be initiating as a business owner. Like, you should be having this discussion with me. We should be looking at the dollars and the cents or whatever. And the conversation wasn't even entertained. It was like, okay, bitch, leave the key on the leave the key on the desk, bitch. Okay, have a nice day or whatever. Like, whatever. So this is what that little exchange left me with. Of course, okay, let me just end it with this. Of course, I went ahead in the morning, girl, as early as I could, bitch, and I packed my shit up so quick. I had so much stuff all over, like, not all over, but like, my makeup station and skin station was like really filled to capacity. I had like 70% of my makeup inventory there. I'm not gonna say 70%. I have a lot of fucking makeup. I'm gonna say 50% of my makeup inventory was there. And, I just have a few styling things in the, styling portion, because I typically like to bring a lot of my stuff home. But, girl, I packed that shit up 20 minutes. Left it zestfully clean, nice and neat, girl, wiping down surfaces that I don't even touch, okay? Just want to make sure, girl, there's no problems in this dancery. I don't want no problems in this dancery. But, girl, so I find out later on that day that she wasn't available to talk because she was on vacation, girl. She done went all the way to, like, another country, girl. She was maxing and relaxing in somebody else's tropical country. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. I'm not gonna even say where she went to vacation, because again, I'm not trying to like blast too much, but it just made me like, okay, so you wasn't trying to talk to me this week any damn way, because you were catching a fucking flight by the time you responded back to me. So it made me like really think about a whole bunch of things. Number one, obviously the inconsistency on how much, she was going to get from me on the front end and the back end, girl. And that's because this girl really needed her hair done, really, really wanted her hair done, and the stylist couldn't do it. Other than that, she has never filtered out any of her current clientele or like, lightened up her book and passed me anything. Again, she discourages against doing walk-ins, but all of a sudden, now that I'm gone, She's having all kind of beautiful walk-in specials, which is crazy. Um, what's another thing? She mentioned to me, like, I don't mind you promoting, like, specials or whatever, but try not to do like $75 weaves or whatever, because again, I don't want a certain kind of clientele. Like, she would like really hammer home that she doesn't want a certain type of people or a certain type of clientele or a certain type of stylist. Like, I don't want to ratchet, I don't want whatever, which is fine. If you have a type of clientele that you want to service to, and you don't want any riffraff or ragamuffin or whatever, I totally get it. This is your shit, you can call the shots. But at the same time, girl, we are playing twerking music every day at 2 o'clock. We're taking shots of Patron 1800 like almost every freaking day. We like turn the hell up like every day. So I can only imagine if her previous staff, that she had to let go of all of them. She had to let go of all of them, right? This is what she told me. If they were too ratchet, then what were they doing? Smoking weed? Like, what more could they have done that was ratchet? Was they smoking weed? Was they like having sex in the bathroom? Were they snorting cocaine, girl? Like, what were they doing that was any more ratchet than what's going on right now? Now, don't get me wrong, I had a great time, honey. I had to pace myself and be like, bitch, I can't be going to the club every day when I come into work. But it was like, it was refreshing that it was like a cool, chill kind of environment like that. But at the same time, a lot of things just really started hitting me after I got fired or let go or sent on my way. A lot of things was just like hitting me. Like, I never thought about that like that. I never thought of it like that. Oh my God, did she play me? And I just got like really, really, really irritated. So yeah, you guys, contrary to what you guys believe, there's still like a little bit more integral things and details that went on into my experience at this first salon. Like, that I didn't even mention in this video because this video is already long enough. But I wanted to put it out there that, my first salon experience was very interesting, to say the least. I wouldn't say it was the worst experience. It wasn't the worst experience. It was just very eye-opening to me. Very, very eye-opening. It just made me like really know what it is that I'm looking for moving forward, as it relates to, joining another team or going to another salon, so that essentially I would know where to go and where to start and how to behave and conduct myself when I open up my salon. I know how I don't want to feel, so I want to make sure that I don't make other people feel that way. And I want to make sure that I make decisions that make financial sense to me first. And what makes financial sense to me first is to keep my salon staffed with happy staff, talented staff, so that I can go ahead and make this rent every month. But some people ain't got to worry about rent, I guess, girl. Or some people are just doing the damn thing that they're like, bitch, look, I can do this all by myself. I can have an empty ass salon with me, my assistant, and bitch, I'll be go ahead and look, I can vacation wherever the hell I want. I'll go to Dubai next year, bitch, with just me and my clientele. You know what? More power to you. But as for me and my future endeavors, if I work with a team, and I'm very excited to announce that I am working with the team right now, that, nothing's happened yet, so stay tuned. But I'm very excited about this team, particularly this young lady, because we have been comrades for a number of years, and it's just like, I'm just so excited for all the things that she has in store for her business and for my business as well. Like, I've been very transparent. We've been transparent with each other, and I'm just like really excited about things to come as far as that's concerned. But as for me and my business, I know the things to do and the things not to do. And the crazy thing about it, and how I started this off with, is this is the crazy thing about it. I got that knowledge and that experience from my experience watching my mother and my father in their salons. Like, I already knew that. So it was a lot of things that revealed itself that was always there in my mind. Like, girl, like, no. And I stayed for so long because it's just in me to just like ride the wave a little bit. I don't like to assume. And as soon as I feel as though, okay, look, I can't figure this out by myself, let's go ahead and talk about it, I always open up the door to have a discussion. I don't like to make assumptions or anything like that. I hate that. I don't like to have personal dialogues with myself, answering questions that I should be posing to the other person, answering it for you. No, like as soon as I have like that what's the tea kind of moment, then I just open the door and I open the discussion for somebody else. And this is the first time ever in my experience of dealing with a work environment, friendship, school or whatever, where I've opened a conversation to someone and they have not like reciprocated a conversation. At least now we might not get to the, we might not agree at the end, but I would at least be granted a fucking like audience. And I was just like blown away that I was completely like, I was immediately cut off. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So anyway, you guys, that is my salon experience. Yeah. And sorry for the little ratchet sorry for the ratchet transition from my regular camera to my phone camera, but I really wanted to get this story out. And I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I should just wait till another day and like refilm it or whatever like that. But fuck that, okay? This is just, I'm just gonna put it out there. My New Year's resolution is whatever is in my mind, just put it out there, be it talking, or makeup looks. I don't give a fuck if I've done it before. You're going to see it again. You're going to see the updated version of the same old shit. So I just decided, you know what? You guys are going to get to the end of the story. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you guys are subscribing. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Make sure that you put your notifications on so that you can see new videos from me coming up. Oh, I hope I don't have spit and shit in the corner of my lips. Ooh, that's so nasty if it is. What else? Yeah, follow me on my social media. I love you guys so much. And until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. All right? Bye, Scrub Bears.